Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about the FIRE movement, the pros and cons. Let's start with the pros first. One pro is that you'll be able to live within your means. Okay, so that what I get from living within your means is that you'll be able to live off a certain amount of money for a year. So if you're able to have a dependable car that you can depend on, it's paid off, you can drive that into, I guess, the wheels fall off. Living within your means, you maybe have a one-story house where pretty much everyone's living comfortably, everyone has their own room, and they'll be able to live off of that without living in a mansion or having a $20,000-$30,000 car where you could just have a $10,000, $12,000 car and live comfortable. I like that idea when it comes to flexibility and living within your means or below your means. That is a pro. Another pro is that many of these FIRE movement members are living off 4% of what they save for maybe 5 or 10 years. They save 1.1 million. They'd be able to survive off of that, off the 4% each year, because the money is money that is still left in the account is being reinvested each year. So that's another pro. It also gives you flexibility. You'll be able to spend more time with family, take vacations. If you want to go into maybe another business or something like that, you'll be able to live comfortable. The cons is that one, they're trying to get people to retire at an earlier age. I think that's a bad idea. I think people should try to work a little bit longer so they have more money saved up, because instead of having 1.1 million and living off of that, what's wrong with having 3.1 million and live off that for 4% and be even more comfortable and live within your means or below your means. A negative is that what if something happens to you if you retire early? Say you end up in some form of some accident, or you have to go to the doctor and you have to pay medical bills because you don't have any insurance. That can be a real issue to you as well. Okay, so the more money you save, the better off you are, because if you leave that 2.1 million on the table and just survive on that 1.1, you probably will end up being forced back into the workforce, and then you just left a job that you may have liked and probably was pretty comfortable with that type of job. So, I mean, I think the FIRE movement should be for those individuals who may be able to start their own business. Maybe they can step away from their job and go into their own business. That is fine. But as far as someone who just wants to retire and travel and have more time off and so they can relax, that I don't think that's a good idea. I think that another negative is that everyone's just FIRE movement are talking about retiring early, but when the last time you heard a billionaire talking about retiring early? You never heard a billionaire talking about retiring early. They're doing something. One, they're doing something they like doing, and two, they're making more money each year. So why would they talk about retiring when you're a millionaire and you're living on a certain amount of money? And these are individuals who could retire. When the last time you heard them talk about they want to retire, right? So when the last time you heard Warren Buffett, who's in his 80s, talking about retirement? When the last time you heard somebody who was in their early 30s, Zuckerberg, did you ever hear him talking about retiring? So these are individuals all doing what they love doing. They're all making billions of dollars. And if anyone who can retire at an early age, would be an individual who is a billionaire. So until you become wealthy enough to make a substantial amount of money, I think you should try to work as long as you can, or try to start your own business in some form or fashion. And then you can, have that cushion with the FIRE movement. But until then, I think you should call this movement more of a free movement more than a FIRE movement, because I think you should be looking towards more of a freedom opposed to fire, because the whole idea is to have more freedom, more flexibility with this approach of the FIRE movement. I think it's not so retiring at age 40, but being able to retire at age 40 and still be able to put in the extra 10, 15, 20 more years where you can make even a more substantial amount of money, and you can live off of that for 4% and be even more comfortable. Because you have to understand, the quicker you retire, the quicker you are to your death. Did you know that? More people are more likely to die quicker if they retire earlier. So why do you think about it? Why do you see these billionaires continue working and to continue making money? Because they know, they understand how having so much free time on your hand could cause a problem for you and cause you to let's put it like this. I heard this years ago from a teacher who said that more freedom you have, the more trouble you have to get into. So it's always good to keep yourself busy, to one, stay out of trouble, and two, to always stay active. It's always good to stay active and continue being alive. When you have a routine, it's always a way to keep you busy and active, and that keeps you alive. When you have too much free time on your hands, when you're not doing things that keep you busy, then that causes you to be quicker to your grave, to cause you to move quicker to your grave because of not staying busy and active. If you are able to stay busy, active, and do things you enjoy, you stay alive and long, much longer. So with that being said, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments about this topic, put a comment below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and make sure to put a thumbs up for this topic, okay? So if you disagree or agree, put a comment. Let's start a discussion, okay? All right, so once again, subscribe to my channel, become a subscriber, and have a good day.